Hi, everybody. Russ on the West Ham Network. Hope you are all safe and well, my friends. Happy Monday. It is a happier Monday than usual, isn't it? An extra bounce in your step when your team win 4-0 at home, innit, against Nottingham Forest. Anyway, hope you're safe and well. Hopefully, it's just a start. Obviously, we've got two-game weeks. Get used to those two-game weeks again with Man United in the Cup on Wednesday, and then a trip to our voodoo friends, Brighton away on the weekend. And we'll bring you all the previews, reviews, press conferences of all those games coming up. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification. Today, it's Hammers Headlines in association with the KUMB.com boys. Check out the forum, the websites, the YouTube channel, Twitter. They're all over the place, just like us. Great bunch of lads. Over 25 years they've been doing it somehow. Anyway, 3 stories today, 3 transfer rumour stories. A raft of rumours came up over the weekend, and so we brought you the top 3. Let's start with a potential upgrade to our elder statesman at the centre-back, Mr. Angelo Ogbonna. He turns 35 this year. Now, apparently, West Ham are reportedly keen to sign Bayer Leverkusen's Odilon Kolosolu in the summer transfer window. It's according to a report which was in The Sun that claim that West Ham are set for a transfer tussle with Leicester for the 22-year-old signature. Obviously, Craig moved over to Wolves in January, and considering the injury issues with Kurt Zouma on a pretty regular basis, signing a young central defender with a very talented central defender should be a must this summer. And that's on top of the likes of Luis Zhao, who he signed from Sao Paulo. Also we've got Angelo Ogbonna, who's potentially his contract's up in the summer. I might talk about that later on at News at 10 in terms of an interview he did about maybe his desire to stay at West Ham. He was going to, West Ham was going to be the end of his playing career, but could that be extended? Maybe. But regardless of that, we need to get some young blood in terms of the centre-back positions. And it seems that Moyes has someone specific in mind just for the job. The Sun claimed the 22-year-old Bayer Leverkusen defender who's on the radar for the Hammers ahead of the summer. Apparently, West Ham had a £1 million loan offer for the centre-back rejected on transfer deadline day in the summer 2022. One of the deals that fell through, which meant Craig couldn't leave for Wolves in the summer. It was obviously he left in January. Now, I think this guy is mustard. I think he's a very, very good player. He also not only is a very good centre-back, an exceptional centre-back, he's also can play right-back and can play central midfield as well in terms of defensive midfield if need be. Last season, his stats were fantastic. Defending stats were good. He had a pass completion rate of 82%, which is obviously something Moyes wants, with the likes of Ged, sort of ball playing centre halves. He's 6'3", so he's similar to Oggy. I think Oggy's 6'3" as well. And has, he's a big lad, he's a unit. And so, every physical attribute to succeed in the Premier League. So apparently Leverkusen won around 25 million for the 16-capped Ivorian Coast international. I think for a fee for 23-year-old, that wouldn't be too bad, really. Look, we paid, was it £30 million, something like that for Naya Faged and a similar number for Kurt Zouma. So I think that's sort of the going rate. But he's got experience in playing in the Bundesliga as well. So keep an eye out for him, for Odilon. Let's talk about, so that could be seen as a replacement for maybe Ogbonna. What about Declan Rice? It's an open secret that he is more likely to go than stay in the summer, with Arsenal apparently the destination of choice. But we'll wait to see what happens there. But apparently West Ham, obviously, we're looking at potential replacements. And could this man possibly be a replacement? The Serbian international, Sergi Milenkovic-Savic from Lazio. We could see it. We could actually maybe see him play if we get through the next round and Lazio get through to the next round of the Europa Conference League. Currently, according to The Sun, the 27-year-old maestro is on the Hammers' radar as obviously targeting for replacements for Deck. He's entering the final of his contract next season, which could open the door to West Ham potentially. We've apparently sent scouts to watch him. He's currently valued at around 60 million euros, about 50 million quid. And if, for example, Rice does go, obviously Lazio will be looking for a reduction on that cost because he's entering his final year of his contract. It's a similar thing to what will happen with West Ham because obviously Deck's got 2 years left in his contract. If he went for another year, then his value goes down almost 50% in essence. And this could be happening. This will happen to Milenkovic-Savic. Obviously, we'll have a bit of money, hopefully, from the Rice deal. So this would be a quality replacement. He is, I think for me, he's a fantastic player. He would definitely lessen the blow of losing someone like Declan Rice. He's a very West Ham type player. He's dogged. He gets it about. He likes putting it on people as well. Do you know what I mean? And he's obviously a very skillful player. So far this season, 21 appearances in the Serie A, 4 goals, 8 assists in midfield. Average rating at Who Scored of 7.33. So, really good average as well. So, I mean, there will be other clubs after him. I think Man United are continually linked with him. But maybe if we've got the money to stump up, he'll have a word with Felipe Anderson. And I'm sure he'll give us a glowing reference. But great name to be linked with. Another player we've been linked with. Been linked with a few centre midfields at the moment. It seems centre half and central midfield are the 2 areas we seem to be linked with a lot. And apparently we're interested in signing Man's midfielder Anton Stach this summer, which is going to be terribly confusing if we sign him, because we've got Anton as well, the West Ham network. And apparently he's already been scouted according to a recent report. Again, Declan Rice replacements and things like that. I mean, Stach is a good player. Again, another player from the Bundesliga. According to a report from 90 Minutes, West Ham are one of several English clubs to have scouted him during this calendar year so far, of Liverpool, Spurs, Newcastle, all doing the same. He's described as being very underrated. He's 24. He's been very impressive for the Bundesliga side this season. And a very good all-round player. Definitely, I'd say more Soucek-esque than Declan Rice-esque, if that makes sense, in terms of, he's a big gangly guy. He's a good dribbler on the ball, though, so unlike Soucek, in the top 95 percentile for successful take-ons within 90 minutes last year. He's got a keen eye for cutting out opposition attacks as well. He's in the top 94 percentiles for interceptions. So, attack and defense could be a potential replacement from Declan Rice. I mean, he's 6'4" as well, so similar height to a Thomas Soucek, for example. So the way I see it, I think you could easily get someone like, I mean, this is just me moneyballing basically more than anything. You could get a Milenkovic-Savic and you could get Anton as a duo, and that would probably suffice in terms of replacing Declan Rice. There's some other guys we're going to be talking about later on this week who have also been linked to in terms of central midfielders who I think could be interesting. And again, maybe slightly less household names, but I think you need a household name or a big player to replace Declan Rice, and then someone as a backup as well. But anyway, that's my humble opinion. As I said, check out, we had the ratings at lunchtime. Listen to them, disagree with them as per usual, and we'll have the news at 10 coming out at 10. Funny enough, and just take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble, keep the faith, my friends, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Ta-ta, bye bye.